Now, I do have to give a big shout out to Moza Racing in terms of not only delivering new products, but also working on the older products and trying to make them more advanced, I would say. So today we're going to talk about Moza Racing R16. This is the new R16, and I would say greatly improved version. Why? Because we have, well, you'll see the force feedback is much better. We have some functions as well. Moza Pit House is also updated where we're talking about the new R16. And for some of you guys that were mentioning in the video for the original R16, the older one, that it doesn't have that much ports connection and everything else. Well, they updated that as well. So this gives you loads of options when we're talking about new connections and the way you could connect literally everything from dash to handbrake to shifter to pedals to... I can go for a couple of minutes now, but we'll get to that part later on because, as you know, all Moza videos do kind of extend a bit, not from your regular 10-minute video. Right here we also have a quite interesting new steering wheel, which, well, basically it's not new, it's updated. This is GS V2P steering wheel, which can be also used for F1, so Formula 1 racing, or GT racing as well, because it looks outstanding. It feels definitely outstanding. The base, well, I think this steering wheel is the base for the FSR, and I'm really loving it because it has the same feel, it has the same grip on the side, and every button is really there quite close, so you can quite easily adjust everything that you need to do while driving, and that's most important. And then finally we have something else which goes in pair with the new R16. This is the front mounting bracket. So for instance, we don't have the same sim rigs, not all of us, and the mounting mechanism and the mounting possibilities vary from each sim rig. So they thought of this and decided to, well, let's place a front mounting system just in case somebody else has a different sim rig, to give you guys more possibilities on mounting the R16 to your sim rig, right? I said sim rig a bit too much in this couple of sentences, but regardless of that, so we have the bottom part, which is regular when we're talking about mounting mechanism, and then we have the front where you use this plate and then you place it on those rails. You can adjust the angle. You have to use four front base M5 screws and washers to attach the mounting plate to the new R16, and also R5 and R9 users can use this, but you have to use two nylon washers between the base and the bracket for adding the protection and to be able to mount it properly. So yeah, the front mounting mechanism is really cool because it gives you an option to mount your new R16 to that other sim rigs that have those rails up on front. But let's go into comparison with the old and the new R16. So in terms of visual aspect, there's literally no difference. I'm talking about the design. Now for the color scheme, you have the quick release right here. This part is in gold color with the older one, and the new one is in matte black. So there's that. When we remove the front part, the front sticker where the quick connect actually has connection part with the steering wheel, it's a bit different, not drastical, but instead of 3 pins on the older one, we have here 5 pins. So there's that, a bit of a difference, and it does kind of make sense because we have more functions on the new R16 than on the old one, but we'll get to that part also quite quickly. The next up, what we have are the connections at the back. So on the older one, the older R16, we have the e-stop connection, USB to connect it to your PC, and a DC input and power button. But on the new version, we have so much more, it's really incredible. So what you get is, you have pedal connection, you have e-stop, you have USB to connect it to your PC, we have DC input, we have dash, shifter, handbrake, and the power button. So it extends with 4 new connections, which is definitely outstanding. And I do have to say, really glad that, I don't know if Moza is listening to you guys that are commenting on forums and everywhere else, but apparently they do. So the connection for the dash is the same location, so you can most likely use, since I don't have it, I can't test it for you guys, but I think you can most likely use the same dash here on the new R16, and that's basically it. So of course with the Moza Racing new R16 you get that huge brick of an adapter to power it up, because it goes up to peak power 360 watts. You get the USB connection to your PC and basically all the screws that you need to attach it to your sim rig. So I think there's that. There's nothing additionally that is added inside the box. But let's check out the specs and see what you can expect. I mean, not only specs, but features, because this thing has loads of it. So we have updated force feedback that feels better. We have extra compatibility across the whole range of Moza products, even though I do have to say I haven't had literally any issues with the old R16 and the range of steering wheels that I had on the channel for review, and yeah, there's that. But most likely the additional pins here, the additional chips on the front quick release are the reason that you can basically connect more or every single wheel. But as I said, I never had a problem with that. So plenty of mounting options, front and bottom, runs quiet and cool, but I did mention that even for the old R16. So I think if this runs even cooler and quieter, it's outstanding as well. And the Moza Pit House gives you a lot of control over force feedback. So the design hasn't changed a lot, basically at all. Only the color scheme for the quick release. Instead of gold, now it's black. You can mount it underneath or on the front. It's, as I said, we have plenty of mounting options. We have 16 Newton meters of peak torque, 262,144 points of resolution. Wheel rotation is limitless. Housing material is made out of aviation grade aluminum alloy, and the peak power is 360 watts. USB refresh rate is 1000 Hz. It has next generation FFB filtering algorithm and ultra low static torque, one click launching, and loads of new ports. So let's check everything separately. The ultra low static torque means that you can feel everything through an optimized motor design, which is offering practically zero torque ripple, notching or cogging. Next generation FFB filtering algorithm delivers enhanced feedback that renders oversteer and understeer with, I would say, much better clarity and gives that special feel, richness, let's put it this way, richness. And it also has dual mode communication, so that the base and the steering wheel are connected via military grade wired conductive slip ring with a lifespan of more than 5 million revolutions. There's another cool feature that they did with the new R16. This is hands-off protection. Quite handy when we're talking about the 16 Newton meters of peak torque, because its function is that it can effectively avoid any type of injury and quickly help restore control by detecting that the hands are off the wheel. And this is really good because the moment it is activated, it will automatically stop any oscillations and return the wheel to the center. For the new connections, we have pedal, e-stop, USB for communication with your PC, the DC input, dash, shifter, handbrake, and lastly, of course, the power button. A total weight is 8.9 kilos. So basically, what I can say is that they didn't change the design, which honestly, I think this is the best looking base that I've seen from any brand, to be honest. And I think you'll agree, because it does kind of resemble to a sports car, which is kind of obvious since you are racing. It doesn't matter if it's F1 or GT or anything similar to that. It makes sense, it looks cool, it looks amazing. I wouldn't change it whatsoever. The upgraded version, when we're talking about new ports, this is really good, because I know some of you guys were asking about the ports for the old one and you were disappointed, even though I do have to say, connect the wheel via proprietary Bluetooth, connect the pedals, that's it. Eventually handbrake, shifter, which was supposed to go directly to your PC instead of connecting it to your wheelbase, that's another thing. But now we have that option as well. And of course the quick release, which is practically the same. I think it looks a bit smaller right here, but I think it will be sturdy enough, no clenching, no cogging, and the connection part on the front makes that. I think this is why they added 2 additional pins on the quick release, because now when you remove your hands from the steering wheel, it doesn't feel that force from you basically returning the wheel to its original position or to the driving style or whatever, and then the hands-off protection gets activated. I think we need more connections, not in terms more than this, but compared to the older one, we needed more connections right here, including the 2 pins and at the back for all the new features that we're getting. Of course, I don't have to mention the inner components, what they did, and upgrading that part to give better force feedback and everything else. But I know you guys want to see a bit of a driving and stuff like that, since we are talking about the wheelbase, and we have a new wheel right here that is definitely outstanding. It has dual clutch, it has shifters which are magnetic without the dampening part compared to the KS steering wheel. We have loads of buttons here at the top, really quite handy, and we have the RPM indicator with nice Moza logo, and everything is already written down, and you get loads of stickers additionally. And if you want to add I would say some indication to your buttons, unless you already got used to the steering wheel. So let's jump in the sim rig, right? So as I said, let's dive into the Moza pit house first before we go into racing, and I'll give you any sort of feedback regarding the actual new R16 and the GS V2P, and definitely going to be interesting to check it out. But regardless of that, let's go. So the R16 base, it doesn't have any new name in the Moza pit house, and that's for sure. Right on front, it actually is a regular thing, game force feedback intensity, which you can adjust, and as I already stated in the past videos, I crank it up to 100 and then adjust it inside the game. Then we go with more, and here we have loads of stuff, so I do have to say. So we have present mode, which it automatically adjusts everything. So you have drift, you have Formula 1, you have GT, karting, performance, and the rally. So since again I'm going to drive an F1, this is what it is. So it automatically adjusts the maximum steering angle, and you have road sensitivity adjustment as well. Then we have game force feedback intensity, which you can also adjust. Let's put it this here. Then you have maximum wheel speed, wheel spring strength, and wheel dampener. So that's for the basic settings. Then we go with the advanced settings. We have professional game force feedback intensity, maximum output torque limit, hands-off protection, which you can, let's see where you can, it's on. So this is good, it's automatically on. Steering wheel inertia, I already explained everything in the past videos regarding the R16, so you know everything already. If you didn't check that out, check out those videos, because I go through each of these settings to give you let's say more explanation about each. Then you have natural inertia, wheel friction, speed dependent dampening, and start point of speed dependent dampening. FFB effect equalizer. So this is where you get all those curves that you can adjust definitely towards your settings, towards your liking and how you drive. So this gives you an option to adjust the curve in the equalizer perfectly. Then we have the base FFB curve. So here you can adjust the curve of the FFB, and then we have some additional parameters that we can adjust. Base status indicator, we have soft limit stiffness, you can go soft or hard up to 10, and then we have soft limit strength, soft limit game force strength, and temperature control strategy, where you can adjust conservative or radical. What I would only suggest is play around with the settings. Try to find a perfect setting for you guys that will give you the immersion towards from the base towards your hands, and that actually won't tear your hands apart. The wheel is outstanding. As I already said, the whole platform is from FSR, except you get the steering wheel. The knobs are in a different position. It kind of, let me just say, yeah, it kind of extends at the bottom and extends at the top just to place the screen and to remove those knobs here at the bottom. And yeah, that's quite all right. I'm quite satisfied with the steering wheel. It has a bit dampened down shifters. So they are magnetic, but they aren't that loud as on the FSR. The KS steering wheel has totally dampened down, and they are heard, but not as much as on this one and on the FSR. This one is somewhere in the middle of the KS and the FSR, so take that into consideration while driving, and it's nothing drastic, it's just a magnetic, that's it. For the R16, I do have to say, I'm actually enjoying the new one more than the old one because it does give a different feedback towards you. And they did give some new features and new options in the Moza Pit House, which is definitely outstanding for you guys that really like to, you're not interested in just plug and play. So place the bass, place the steering wheel, just adjust the wheel saturation if you need to, depending on the game of course, and just drive. So if you want to go, you can actually go into FFB equalizer and adjust everything. You can adjust the bass FFB curve and all the other stuff that you desire. So guys, what can I say? Another big thumbs up to Moza for actually what I can say about the bass additionally is that they actually listened to what you guys wanted from an actual R16, right? You wanted additional ports at the back, you wanted something different when we're talking about the force feedback, giving it more richness, I would say. And this one, the quick release, is slimmer and shorter than on the older one. So you do have to take that into consideration because it's not that drastic. It's like half a centimeter shorter than on the older one, and that's it. That's all there is to it when we're talking about the new Moza Racing R16. Guys, links are in the description, and you know the price already, it didn't change that much. The GS V2P is quite an outstanding wheel. If you don't want the screen, if that is too much, or the price for the FSR is too much, then I definitely suggest this one. I mean, it has all the buttons, it has everything that you need for all styles of racing except for rally, of course. Let's not go there. And that'll be all for today. The links are in the description. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell. And one more thing before we go, I have something interesting from Moza that I think in week or 2 weeks I'll show you guys. You're going to enjoy that one. Thanks. See you next time, guys. Bye bye.